So busted by your significant other, but it doesn't have anything to do with infidelity.
Yeah, every person has their individual quirks, but the problem arises when your partner doesn't know about those quirks and you've been together for like 15 years and you should know about them. So I just want to know if anybody else has had a moment where their significant other has caught them doing something that's like totally benign, not problematic. Well, that part's debatable, but you had to like awkwardly explain it. And it happened to me a couple of weeks ago after the Met Gala. I'm not into it as much as Kristen and Abby are because y'all love the fashion and they are hilarious to follow with your commentary on all these celebs. But if you're on social at all, you're going to just see pictures of celebs at the Met Gala. And I do find some of the like outfits interesting. I'm not totally into it because I don't understand it and I'm not good at fashion, but I like looking at it. But then when I'm looking at all these celebs over and over again, I'm like, oh my God, they're all so beautiful. How do they stay so beautiful? And I'm sitting there in like a bleach stained, ripped Target tank top that I got off the $5 rack in my sweats with a spaghetti stain on it and my kid's booger on my shoulder. And I'm just like, what is my life? I can't. The Met Gala's never been so far away. And so I do this thing to make myself feel better. And it's not to hate on any celebs. Let me be clear. This is for me. As I flick the boogie off my shoulder, right? I zoom in on a certain body part on celebrities. And again, not to make fun of them, but it's the one body part that you can't really surgically, cosmetically fix. And I feel like it's a reminder, like they're human too. They just have money and a team of people, right? I call it celebrified. Like if you ever watched American Idol and you saw Carrie Underwood when she first performed, beautiful, like wholesome. And then you saw Carrie Underwood later, you're like, bombshell, you were always gorgeous. What happened? You got celebrified. I zoom in on their toes, right? I just zoom right in on their toes because I want to see, are their feet wedged into a shoe that looks beautiful, but you know is uncomfortable, but they're smiling through the pain? Are their toes like slipping over the edge because it's too slippery and they're clawing out? Do they have a wonky bunion or a crazy pinky toe or no little toenail on their pinky toe? Like just all these things because everyone can have gnarly feet. I've got gnarly feet. You know, it's a thing.
You do not. You have beautiful feet.
Well, thank you. See, my feet are better than celebrity feet.
So what is it? You just try, you're zeroing in on something just to make them seem real?
Yes.
Okay.
To remind myself, like, this is not reality. Like, because you can say that, but then you see it over and over again, and you're like, well, maybe this is reality, and maybe I'm behind. And I'm not saying everyone's sitting there with a bleach-stained, ripped tank top from Target. Like, I'm a little more on the other end of that spectrum, but it just reminds me celebs can have jacked up toes because they're real people. So it makes me feel better. So I was zooming in on Chris Hemsworth's gorgeous wife. She is one of the most beautiful people on her toes. And I'm just like, and she had nice toes, but I'm like, look at her toes. And Chad, my husband, comes up behind me and sees me zooming in. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm zooming in on celebrity feet, but it's not what you think it is. I do not have a foot fetish.
You're cold busted.
Yeah. And he's like, what are you doing then? And I have to explain this to him. And he's just staring at me like I'm from another planet, the weirdest person on earth. And I'm like, you build plastic robots for fun. Go back to your Gundams. But like, he accepted it, but I was like, thank God. Otherwise, I would have had some really, like, it would have been really hard to explain why I zoom in on celeb feet all the time.
No, I've heard some major ones before. Like if somebody in the marriage is trying to quit smoking and like the husband or the wife thinks they're doing a great job, but legitimately she's got cigarettes somewhere in the house or she's literally using tinfoil on her finger so her fingers don't smell like cigarette smoke. I've heard of those, but nothing that superficial.
Oh, I've totally like eaten the last Kit Kat and buried the wrapper in the trash.
I've done that too.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I guess we were out. Sorry.
Get rid of the evidence.
I've totally what you have to do is whatever you put in put into the garbage can, you just gotta put some paper towels over top of it, and then it's none the wiser.
And they won't go digging.
I mean, I hide my phone so my husband doesn't know about the new stupid game that I've downloaded on it. So if he comes into the room, like I have to try to pretend like I'm doing something else, or hop over to a social media app, or pull up my email, make it look like I'm doing something productive. Yeah. But in actuality, I'm trying to get cars unparked.
I had one of these the other day because the way that my studio is set up, if someone sends something to my phone, I can connect it to my projector and it's on the big screen. And my dude sent me like a profile of a girl that he was dating. Like, yo, what do you think? And so, of course, I click on it, and it goes on my projector. And right in that moment, she walks into the studio, and there's a woman in a bathing suit on a 70-inch screen. And I'm like, this not what it looked like, I swear.
You're backpedaling before even the details have come out.
Bert Show.